Paul boarded the plane to win back his love, despite his fear of flying, on the flight where his girlfriend Ruth works, but Ruth still refuses to get back together. Dejected, he starts telling his story to the elderly lady next to him. That day, as an Air Force member, he saw a radiant figure in the crowd at a bar. It was Ruth. He couldn't help but blurt out, "So sexy. I love her so much." The guy next to him got scared and quickly walked away. Watching Ruth's mesmerizing dance moves, Paul could no longer control himself. He walked up and stared intensely at Ruth. Ruth stared back at him. They just kept staring, until the bar closed. And just like that, they became a couple. It was a magical encounter. If not for an unexpected twist, they would have been married by now. Paul was lost in his memories. But the elderly lady thought he was dragging on too long. "Just hang yourself already." Oh my god. Paul was totally stunned, but he quickly snapped back. He suddenly felt less afraid of the plane. So he started looking for people to share his story with, approaching a military officer. "Before I broke up with my girlfriend, we were incredibly in love. We even went to a primitive African tribe. I taught them modern etiquette. I showed them how to rap and play basketball. These primitive people had never seen a basketball before. They played so terribly." The officer couldn't take it anymore. Too damn long-winded. He grabbed a knife and committed seppuku. Seeing the officer kill himself, Paul was bewildered again. What low tolerance. But he felt incredibly relaxed. Seems telling stories really can ease fear. So Paul became addicted to storytelling. Unable to stop, he started talking to someone wearing a headscarf. This person was originally a terrorist. He had a bucket of gasoline, ready to carry out an attack. But Paul's long-winded story made him pour the gasoline all over himself, ready to self-immolate. The flight attendant arrived just in time. "Sorry sir, no lighting fires on the plane." Paul had eased his fear, but he forgot. The passenger was still waiting for him in the taxi at the airport entrance. He never expected the quick trip would turn into a one-way journey. Looking at the meter constantly running, he hesitated. Should I get out, or stay in? Mainly because he'd never seen a driver ditch a fare. Ultimately, he chose to keep waiting. Meanwhile, on the plane, after finishing their in-flight meal, some passengers started showing food poisoning symptoms. The situation grew increasingly serious. "Excuse me, are you a doctor? Isn't it obvious?" Under the flight attendant's guidance, a white-haired doctor went to the cockpit. Because the navigator and co-pilot were also poisoned, they were having trouble breathing. Soon they'd meet their maker. Investigation revealed, only passengers who ate fish were poisoned. Those who didn't eat fish were fine. The captain glanced at his own plate. He had hoped he'd be okay due to his good health, but then the flight attendant asked the doctor, "What are the symptoms of food poisoning?" The doctor said, "First of all, you'll feel breathing difficulties. Your throat will go dry, unable to speak. Soon you'll start feeling dizzy. Then the virus will spread through your body. You'll begin to convulse. Finally, you'll foam at the mouth." At this moment, the captain couldn't speak, but he had cursed the doctor a million times in his mind. "When you weren't talking, I was fine. The more you explain, the more I feel something's wrong." And just like that, all the plane's pilots were dead.